What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having an amazing week. I want to take the time and share with you some thoughts from this race over the weekend. As most of you know, I ran my first ultra marathon. I've run a 13.1. I've run a half marathon, a full marathon. I've now successfully completed an ultra marathon, and let's just say it is the hardest thing that I've ever done. A lot of things when it comes to fitness come a little easy to me. So I've been able to accomplish a lot of things without training very, very hard for it because I'm just generally in good shape. And that's not to be braggadocious. It's just saying this is the industry I work in. I have to be in shape for these things. This 51-mile race was the hardest thing I've ever done. I trained for 4 months, and it still wasn't enough training. I didn't do enough hill work. I didn't do enough long runs, and ultimately, it bit me in the butt. It bit me in the butt, but I did successfully complete it. I ended up taking a wrong turn on the first lap. I was let's say about 13 miles in, and I took a wrong turn, and I ended up going 2 miles in the wrong direction, having to turn around. So I ended up going 4 miles in the wrong direction before I straightened things out, got back on course. Then I hit a rock. And I went flying into the woods, landed on my shoulder. That hurt. That killed my confidence. But I said, you know what? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. At each aid station, I realized I was behind the time limit. And I just kept getting further and further behind. So it sucked. I'm not going to lie. It sucked to know that you're not necessarily going to make a time limit and that you could potentially just not finish this thing. Like your body's breaking down, you're cramping, all these different issues that happen, adversity in life, the exact reason why I run these races. But ultimately, what I want to talk to you about is I had the ability to quit. I had the ability to just go off the course, or for somebody to say, hey man, like you just want to sit it out, you're not going to make the time. Do you want to actually finish this thing? Do you want to successfully complete this ultra marathon? And I decided, you know what? I'm going to grit it out. As much as my legs hurt, as much as my psyche hurts, as much as my mental capacity is just pushed to the limit. This is why we do these things. This is why I preach to do these things, because ultimately you're going to learn and you're going to grow so much from these things. I know so much more about myself today than I did the day before and the day before because I pushed myself. I pushed my body and I pushed myself mentally. So I kept trucking and they're shutting the course down and they're pulling off the cones. And all I say is this: I'm going to get to the finish line no matter what. If I have to walk across the finish line or crawl across the finish line, that is my ultimate goal, is to get across that line. And my wife meets me as I make the turn and we head across the bridge towards the finish line, and she runs with me and I get a little emotional. I get teared up, but ultimately I finished. I ended up running 54 freaking miles in about 14 hours. So that's it. Like, I accomplished what I set out to do. I don't know if I have any other fitness goals, but I just want to preach to you guys that adversity is always going to hit. Like, I could have went out here and had the best day of my life, but I knew that it wasn't going to happen. I knew my legs weren't going to make it. I knew that ultimately I was going to run up against something, and it was going to take mental toughness and mental capacity to get through those things. So that's a microcosm to life. When things hit you in the mouth, or when life is not going exactly the way you want it to go, you're going to have to grit it out. At some point in your life, you're going to have to show some grit. And this is why I do these things, because if I can go out and I can push my body in that way and I can push my mental capacity, there's nothing that I can't get through on this earth that is going to take me away from my game and my mental game that I have. So I encourage you to go out and do these things. I encourage you to explore the capabilities of the human body. I implore you to explore the capabilities of the mental body. Just go out and do these things. All right, guys? I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope that you take something from the things that I do. And again, I'm just not one of those people that is ever going to quit. I'm not going to say, oh, just pull me off the course, or just, I won't finish. I'll try it again another time, because I have a daughter that needs to see an example of pushing and grit and not giving up and not quitting. And I have a family that is relying on me to be that rock and to be that strong person. So I'm never going to quit. I'm never going to just say, okay, no, I'll do it another day. It is all about pushing. It is all about pushing the human body, the mental body, everything about it. All right, guys? Next time I'll train a little harder. Next time I'll hopefully be able to not cramp up, and hopefully I won't get lost, because I would have made the time limit if I didn't get lost. But I have successfully completed my first ultra marathon, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week, all right?